Governments across Europe, the epicentre of a new COVID wave, are considering what measures to take to protect school pupils returning for the new term. Scientists in the Netherlands are meeting to discuss whether schools there can reopen next week. Here in England, regular testing and mask wearing have been reimposed in secondary schools, but the Education Secretary says ministers are determined to keep schools open after learning a painful lesson from earlier closures. Young people in India aged between 15 and 18 have become eligible for the coronavirus vaccine as the country records its sharpest ever weekly surge in infections. And Sudan's Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok has resigned after another day of mass protests rocked the capital Khartoum. Thousands marched against a recent deal he'd struck to share power with the army, who staged a coup in October.
We start here in Japan, where daily counts of new coronavirus cases are on an upward trend across the country. On Monday, new cases topped the 100 mark in the prefectures of Tokyo and Okinawa for the first time in months. The Tokyo metropolitan government reported 103 new cases. It's the first time the number has surpassed 100 since October 8th. It's also reported 25 Omicron cases. 11 of them are believed to have been transmitted within the city. 11 staff members at Tokyo's Daijingu Shrine have been confirmed to be infected since New Year's Eve. Local authorities are calling it a cluster infection. It's suspended New Year's visits to the facility from Monday until January 16th. Tokyo Governor Koike Yuriko called for measures such as improving ventilation and promoting teleworking.
Many people will go back to work on Tuesday, and I hope they will take all possible anti-infection measures.
Meanwhile, Okinawa Prefecture confirmed 130 new infections on Monday, passing the 100 mark for the first time since September 25th. Most businesses resume on Tuesday. Many people are stopping by to get tested at this PCR center set up by Hiroshima Prefecture.
I came here because I thought I should take a test before I start work, so as not to cause trouble in my workplace.
If the number of infections keeps increasing, it will affect my club activities and school life, so I'm a little worried.
Nationwide, the Omicron variant has been reported in 28 prefectures so far. Community infections of the strain have now been detected in 15 of them. Authorities across Japan confirmed 673 new coronavirus infections on Monday. The figure is more than triple that of a week ago. South Korean President Moon Jae-in has expressed a strong sense of crisis over the rapid spread of Omicron in his final New Year's speech as president.
I will make 2022 the first year when we completely overcome the coronavirus crisis and normalize our lives.
The annual televised speech on Monday comes as Moon's 5-year term expires in May. South Korea is in the middle of a new wave of the virus, with daily new infections topping 7,000 for the first time in December. More than 1,300 people have tested positive for the Omicron variant in the country. Moon conveyed a grave sense of crisis, saying it's just a matter of time before the variant becomes the dominant strain. He also said the government will pursue a normalization of inter-Korean relations and an irreversible path to peace until the end of his term.
It is true that there is still a long way to go. Now is the time when South and North Korea's cooperation is most important. If we resume dialogue and cooperation, the international community will respond.
He said he hopes efforts for dialogue will continue in the next administration. Moon made no mention in his speech about South Korea's ties with Japan. Another pro-democracy media outlet in Hong Kong announced its closure on Monday. This means almost all media outlets critical of the Chinese and Hong Kong governments are disappearing from the territory. Hong Kong's online media, Citizen News, announced that it'll stop updates on Tuesday and shut down later. A farewell article said, quote, "Sadly, we can no longer strive to turn our beliefs into reality without fear," unquote. Citizen News was established by veteran local correspondents in 2017. It gained wide public support by carrying articles on a series of protests in the territory in 2019, as well as commentaries analyzing political and social issues in mainland China. The chief writer of Citizen News, Chris Young, told reporters the media is facing an increasingly tough environment.
The decision was made within a short period of time. Frankly speaking, the trigger point was the fate of Stand News, which exposed many problems and made us reflect back on what our mission was when we first opened Citizen News 5 years ago.
Last week, authorities indicted 2 executives of the pro-democracy online media outlet Stand News. They say the media incited hatred toward the Hong Kong government and justice system. People have paid tribute to the victims of deadly mudslides that hit an area of central Japan 6 months ago. Massive mudslides struck the city of Atami in Shizuoka Prefecture on July 3rd. The disaster killed 26 people and left 1 missing. Authorities have banned entry to an area along a river where mud flowed down. Local officials say 240 people from more than 130 households have been displaced. On Monday, more than 20 members of a group of bereaved families and other affected people offered silent prayers.
Days go by, but my mind has been unable to keep up with the time. I feel left behind.
I used to visit my parents' home in the area on January the 3rd of every year. Being unable to do so this year has made me sadder.
Meanwhile, police and Coast Guard officials continue to search for the 1 person who's still missing. They're focusing their efforts on a port area where mud and sand flowed into the sea. Japanese weather officials are warning that more snow is headed for parts of the northeastern region of Tohoku and the Japan Sea coast. The areas have already seen heavy accumulations. The meteorological agency says snow and strong winds will continue to pummel the northern prefecture of Hokkaido. Mountain areas in Tohoku will also be affected, as will northern and eastern parts of the Japan Sea coast. In Hokkaido, strong winds of up to 83 kilometers per hour are forecast. Maximum gusts may reach 126 kilometers per hour. Intermittent snowfall is forecast for mountainous areas in eastern Japan through Tuesday. That's due to a strong winter pressure pattern and frigid air flowing southward. In Fukushima Prefecture, up to 70 centimeters of snow is forecast to fall through Tuesday evening. In the northern Kanto region and Niigata Prefecture, 60 centimeters is expected. The snow will continue to pile up in northern Kanto and Nagano Prefecture through Wednesday. Caution is advised against possible snow-related traffic disruptions, avalanches, and blackouts.